The 9th annual Rogue Overland Expedition did not disappoint. Arizona threw everything at us, from the most beautiful day to trying to snow us right off of the mountain. You're going to want to watch every episode of this 3-part series so you don't miss out on even a second of this amazing adventure. The following episodes of this series will release every Thursday for the following 2 Thursdays. The 2025 Rogue Overland Expedition is presented by Underland Off-Road and All Dogs Off-Road. Brought to you by Bubba Rope, Max Gear Armor, White Knuckle Off-Road Products, The Perfect Bungee, and X-Grid Campers. This year, check-in was hosted at Dillon's Western Trails Ranch, which also served as the first night's camp. After some campfire time and sleep, we packed up before heading into the hills outside of Wickenburg, Arizona. At this point of the trip, we were relieved to have made it through Box Canyon. We had been watching the weather leading up to the trip and the morning of. Rain was imminent and we had a short window to get to this point. Now we would be gaining elevation and flash floods were no longer a concern. From here, we would head high into the mountains outside of Wickenburg, Arizona, in search of our next point of interest, a silver mine from the early 1900s.
Oh yeah.
Finally, we arrived at the Monte Cristo Mine. Operational in the early 1900s, this mine primarily produced silver ore, but a 6-foot wide gold vein was also supposedly found. Mother Nature didn't want us hanging around too long, as about 10 minutes after we arrived, the rain cut loose into a full downpour.
It's wet. Got a tarp up. There's Ian. mix back there.
Yeah, we rolled into camp today at like about I don't know, 45 minutes ago, right as the rain started rolling in. So everybody kind of found a little corner somewhere. We're all kind of tucked in, just hiding out. The weather says it's supposed to roll out in about another hour or so. So we're hoping it just chills enough that we can go out and get a fire going and cook some dinner and just have a nice night out and about. But right now the wind's blowing and everything's just wet. So here we are, sitting in the truck with the heater blowing, just chilling and talking.
Nice.
So the day was awesome. It isn't a road trip without starting day one with some type of inclement weather. I think every single time it's a great meet and greet in the morning. We have good camaraderie. We pass it on from guys that are super experienced, who have done Moab, done everything there, to guys who are just getting on the trail for the first time. I think I take away something every single time that we come on one of these trips. It's awesome. We always have a great time.
Yeah, man. I mean, even with the weather right now, how it is, it brings a whole different game to how you change the way that you drive. So, like, obviously today it's a lot slippery, there's a lot of mud. You gotta watch out, the rain's coming down and everything. So, it's cool to see you change up your style a little bit for something that's different, unexpected. And so, yeah, it's a great learning experience. It's also good to have different levels of experience out here and just kind of see how people do things a little bit different, you know?
What was your guys' favorite part about the trails today?
The water. Arizona, we don't see water.
That was fun.
Yeah.
There was a couple pretty good deep holes.
Yeah.
I was surprised by that.
Fox Canyon is always awesome. Like when you get through those canyon walls, and there's a way now in there, that's so cool.
It's pretty still the saguaros too out here. Just you look at some that are 25 to 50 years old, and you see the ones with all the arms and legs and everything coming off of them, up to 500 plus. So it's pretty cool. The desert, I think, is a little underrated. We love Arizona.
Yeah.
I'm used to the Mojave, and it's all just Joshua trees, so the saguaros are a cool addition. It wasn't super technical, but there was a couple parts. I don't have the super built rig that a lot of people here have, but there were a couple obstacles that made it exciting.
Yeah,
for sure. For sure.
Eric, do you want to explain what you got us here?
It's a Serrano ham. A Hammond Serrano Grand Reserva. It's written on it.
Yeah, there's only.
It's very nice.
And it's a fun thing for people to cut the ham and make their own slices.
Do you slice it thin or thick, or what's the
Whatever
overall?
you like, right?
Okay.
That's why it's a DIY kit.
I've never had the chance to slice my own ham.
Okay, Manny, you hold it? Yes. Thank you, Manny.
I see why you say be careful with cutting.
Yeah. I've seen many grown men tell me, oh, I know how to do this, and they're bleeding 5 minutes later.
If you think a ham is bougie, just wait until you see what someone brought to the potluck on night 3. You're also going to want to make sure you catch episode 2, because if you thought the weather on this portion of the trip was crazy, you got a rude awakening coming. Copyright Rogue Overland 2025, all rights reserved.